What is going on? What is going on? Welcome. Let me fix my welcome. Welcome to the show, y'all. I am excited to be back. Happy Friday to everybody. TGIF. Let me fix my there we go. Happy Friday, everybody. Don't forget, hit that like button on your way in. Tickle that notification bell that will let you know every time I upload any video or go live at any time. Let's do a quick sound check. Make sure y'all can hear me. All right, that's good. So let's get into the show. Tonight, we have a very special show. One that I've been thinking of doing. I did a short on it like a few days ago. I did a short about incels a few months ago. It was last year. And I wanted to do a show about incels and losers and guys that just can't get women, because it's important to talk about the other side of the spectrum, because we've talked about modern women a lot, but with every modern woman there's a incel or a loser that can't get a woman. And throughout this show, we're going to take a deep dive into a few different things. What is an incel? Why can't they get women? And why they can't get the woman that they want? We're going to play some videos and talk about it. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Thomas. I am no dating expert. I'm just telling it like it is. So without further ado, let's get into the meat of this broadcast. Let me pull up my slides. Give me 1 second. Because it's important. It's important to know. Hi, Shogo Nakashima. How are you doing tonight? Hope you're doing great. Hope you're staying well in all the snow we're getting. And if you're in any area where there is snow, please be careful. So tonight, the birth of an incel. So the birth of an incel is, why can't you get the woman that you want? Why? What is so hard about getting women that incels just can't get on? that incels just can't master the art of women. So we're going to take a deep look at what is an incel, because we hear that word a lot in this. I wouldn't call it, we hear it in the red pill community, we hear it in the manosphere, we hear it in the blue pill, the black pill, the purple pill, whatever pill that you want to talk about, you hear the word incel. So over here we deal with definitions. So we define the words that we use. So what is an incel? An incel is a member of an online community of young men who consider themselves unable to attract women sexually, typically associated with views that are hostile toward women and men who are sexually active. So we're going to use the word incel and loser interchangeably, because I believe where the word incel can be used, the word loser can also be used. So what is a loser? A loser is a person or thing that loses especially consistently. Now, what is an incel? An incel is a guy, a younger guy, older guy. It's a guy that they're unable to attract women sexually. So what happens when you're unable to attract women? What happens when you strike out in the dating world? You lose. And what is a loser? A person or thing that loses especially consistently. You see where I'm going with this, y'all? The word incel and the word loser can be used interchangeably, because what does an incel do? They lose in the dating market. They are involuntarily celibate. So they are unable to attract women that they want, which makes them tandem with losers. Now, not everybody's a loser, but we have to realize that there are winners in life and there are losers in life. And you need to pick which side you want to be on. Continuing on, an incel, the statistical data shows that self-identified incels are mostly male and heterosexual and are often described as young and friendless introverts. And see, I just want to make one thing very clear. I know there's introverts. I know the difference between an introvert and a loser and an incel, but let's be honest. Before there were introverts, what were there? Before somebody came up with the word introvert, what did we call social outcasts? People who had no social skills, no social life. What did we call them? We called them losers. We called them social outcasts. We called them people that just couldn't get it. So now we call some of them introverts, because I don't believe that every introvert is an incel and every introvert is a loser. They're not. But at some time and with some people, you can use the word incel and loser instead of introvert. You just have to look at the person and what they're doing, and if they're actually trying to get a woman. Continuing on, estimates the size of incel communities during 2018 through 2020 varied and ranged from the thousands to the tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands. So what we're seeing here in the dating market is the rise of the incel, the rise of the loser, the rise of the beta male, the rise of the man that's just losing left and right. where we have men that are upset because they can't get a woman. So why do men become incels? This is a very good question. Most of the time, men become incels because they are rejected by women. Every one of us, we've been rejected by women. I've been rejected by women. I was rejected by a lot of women. I wasn't always the sharp dressed guy you see before you. I used to wear gaming t-shirts, leotards, not leotard, lanyards. I used to wear gaming t-shirts, lanyards. Like I did a whole show, my very first live, I showed old pictures of myself. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find a photo of myself. Let me see if I can find a photo of myself, because I think, let me see, I think that I can find one. Yeah, because I didn't always dress this way. And people need to understand that incels are born. Incels are not born, they're made. You're made into an incel. And that's what people need to understand, is that just because you're an incel today doesn't mean you'll be an incel tomorrow. I can't find an old picture of myself right now, but I'll try and look for it and put it up as we go through the presentation. Okay. Why do men become incels? They're rejected by women, bad experiences with women. And see if you notice the top two things as to the reason why men become incels: deal with women. Women rejecting you, women giving you a bad experience, women standing you up, ghosting you, not calling you back, disappearing, blue balling you. That's what makes a man become an incel. Socially awkward and beta male energy. Now, it's important to realize that not every man is an incel. Not every man can't get women. So if you're a man out there and you can get women, this I'm not talking about you. But if you're an incel, I'm talking about you. Because COVID created incels. You know why? Because when the world stood still and when the world shut down, what happened? All of the beta males and incels that were at home, they needed to simp, they needed to get women, they needed to get their urges fulfilled. And what did they do? When women started OnlyFans, the simps and the incels praised Jesus. And they started throwing money out at women. That is the reason why you can go on Twitter, you can go on Twitch, you can go on YouTube, you can go on TikTok, and sex is everywhere. Because of incels and losers that can't get women. Think about it. If you're a guy that can get women, are you going to be watching women on X videos or Twitter? Are you going to watch and subscribe to a woman's OnlyFans if you can get women? Are you going to simp over other women if you can get women and you're having relations with women? No, you're not. You're going to be a man that doesn't partake in that. beta male energy. What do incels usually lack? And see, it's important to know what an incel is and what they lack. Because when a man, and see, I'm going to go into my philosophy after the slide, so stay tuned for that. So normally they're socially awkward, socially inept, and social rejects of society. What do I mean by that? What I mean is that we all know, we all saw the little geeky kid in the corner talking to himself, playing with toys by himself. He didn't really have friends. He would sit at the loser table in school, and then you grow up and you graduate school, and he's still socially awkward. He's still a beta male. He gets used and abused by women. He doesn't have a backbone. He says yes all the time. We've all seen those types of men. I used to be one of them. You are talking to a former incel. But you know what happened is that I got a wake-up call. I had a woman in my life that helped me to go from incel to alpha male. And sometimes we need that. We need somebody in our lives that cares enough about us to say, you know what? You're messing up, man. You need to stop being an incel. You need to cut that out. We all need somebody in our lives that is going to help us be a better version of ourselves. So a lot of beta males and a lot of incels and a lot of losers, they lack game. Well, what is game? Game is a fancy way of saying talking to people. When you can talk to a person, that's game. That's game. When you can go up to a group of people and introduce yourself and say, hi, my name is John. Hi, my name is Pete. Hi, my name is Jacob. Hi, my name is such and such. And you can carry on a conversation with people, that's game. And a lot of socially awkward beta males, incels, can't do that. So again, it deals with being social. Throughout our world that we live in, we are required to be social. There is no way around it. Whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, whether you're a grown-up, whether you're fresh out of high school, college, you have to be social. There is no way around it. If you don't want to be social, you might as well just buy a cabin in the woods and be a hermit. This is a social world that we live in. This is a social society that we live in. You can only get so far being smart. Let me ask you a question. Do you think, and I want you to put your answer in the chat, do you think that socially inept or social people run the world? Or do you think smart people run the world? Or do you think it's a mixture of both? People that can do both. So do you believe social inept people rule the world? Do you believe intelligent people rule the world? Or do you believe it's a mixture of both? And then we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about who really calls the shots in society. Fashion knowledge. You know, over here, we care about how we look. Fashion knowledge. Zero sense of style. And that kills me when men don't have a sense of style. That kills me. when men don't have a sense of style. Because let me do this, because I think I can find what I used to look like. Because it's important to know where you came from to really know where you're going. So let me find it, because I made a slideshow. Here we go. All right, y'all. Y'all are about to see. And I don't care if you laugh, because I laugh at myself now anyway. Y'all are about to see what I used to look like. Now, keep in mind, I had no fashion sense. I had no style. I did not look like I look like today. I looked like crap. Like most men that walk out of the house, y'all look like crap. Somebody had to say it, because I see people all the time and their style is complete garbage. Let me share my screen. So this is how I used to look. This is this is how I used to look. This is, let me see if I can make, there we go. This is how I used to look back in the day. You see how garbage I dressed? I had an Atari hat, a gaming t-shirt that was too big. I had an oversized burgundy dress shirt. Like, who wears burgundy dress shirts anymore? And keep in mind, I thought I was doing something. When I was wearing this crap, you couldn't tell me nothing. Look at me. I look like crap. Like, I look like no wonder why women would turn the other way and run away. Look at how I dressed. And those aviator sunglasses, man, look. You couldn't tell me nothing in those aviator sunglasses. Now let's look at this. As I said, this is what I used to wear. This is me. Oversized NFL jersey. And there's the lanyard. Y'all see that? Y'all see the lanyard? And the shirt. I used to wear nothing but gaming t-shirts. I didn't wear suits. I didn't wear dress clothes. I didn't wear hats. And if I wore a hat, it had to be a gaming hat. Like, that's how I dressed. And no wonder why women ran from me. Like, no wonder why women was like, they were like the road runner. They were like, me, bye, gone. Because they ran. And now I understand why. And this is why I'm teaching you all this. Because I understand and I know how hurtful it is to have a woman run away from you and look at you with disgust and shame. So what do incels usually lack? Again, knowledge of women. The nice guy. And they put women on a pedestal or simps over them. Aviators are hideous, no they're not. I ain't gonna lie, I still like aviators. You can, I'm gonna get me a pair of aviators very soon, because aviators, they're the one sunglasses. Aviators are the sunglasses that any man can wear. It doesn't matter your facial shape, whether you're tall, skinny, short, fat, dwarf, any man can wear aviators. That's the reason why me personally, I love aviators. Continuing on. Now, this is the meat. This is the meat. I want everybody to pay very close attention to what I'm going to say. Your EQ refers to your emotional abilities and social skills, including cognitive empathy, emotional regulation, and motivation. Conversely, IQ measures your cognitive and intellectual skills like working memory, analytical thinking, and knowledge retention. So, this is where I'm going to go with this, and I want you to follow me. A lot of incels and losers and lames that are complete garbage with women, a lot of these men, they focus on IQ, how smart you are. I'm here to tell you the world doesn't care how smart you are. You can have an IQ of 270, 170, 120, however much you want to place a bet. The world cares about your EQ, your social skills. Why do you think you are told to network when you are in college? Why do you think you are told network, 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 network? Why do you think at work you are told it is not who you know, but what you know? I mean, forgive me. It's not about what you know, it's who you know. Why do you think that is? Why do you think incels can't get women? Because they're socially inept. They're socially outcast. They're the outcast and the outliers of today's society. So when you look at a man that just can't get women, more than likely they can't get women because they're a social outcast. Haven't you ever seen a guy that just doesn't get women and then they come home, they eat their Hungry Man or their Swanson dinner, and then they watch TV and then they go to bed? There was this YouTube channel that I was watching. It was called King Pill University on YouTube. And they were talking about, they had an animated cartoon about this guy. And literally all he would do was just beat off, lust after women, go to school, do his work, play video games, eat crappy food, rinse and repeat. That's the life of an incel. More often than not, an incel is a guy that just can't get anything, which is the reason why the word loser and incel can be used interchangeably. See, and this is what I'm talking about. Your IQ doesn't matter as much as your EQ, because you can have a high IQ and not talk to people and be a loner and not fit in with. Now, I'm not talking about fitting in with society, but what I am saying is that you do have to fit in. You have to. That is the way our social construct is created. Those that do not fit in are cast to the side. They're outcasts. That's the reason why nobody wants an incel. Nobody wants a beta. Nobody wants a loser. Nobody wants a socially awkward beta male. And when you look at that, and when you look at being a socially awkward beta male, it'll bring us to our next thing. So here we have social skills, and I want you to pay close attention to this. Number one Number one, communication. This is the reason why it's not what you know, it's who you know. This is the reason why communication is so important in life, in everything we do. If you cannot effectively communicate, you will not be able to survive in life, man or woman. Communication is everything. That's the reason why they always tell you when you're in school, when you're growing up, communication is key. Communication is key. Network, build a community, have a tight friendship group, go out of the house, be social, be friendly, be this because it's important. The reason why there's so many incels in the world is because they just suck with people. Communication. That's the reason why in the tree of social skills, communication is number one. Communication. Number two is team building, working with the group, having a team. Why do you think so many men suck on the dating market? Because they suck at communication and team building. Thank you, the Jeremy Hill Show. I actually went by your YouTube channel, and actually, it's an honor that let me do this for you. It's an honor and a privilege to have you come over to my channel. I respect your channel. Thank you so much for coming. And definitely, yeah, we can definitely collab. Team building and communication are number one. Why do you think that socially inept men don't get women? They're just socially inept. They aren't socially inept for no reason. And then when you do communication, you do team building, now conflict resolution. Why do you think so many men suck at conflict resolution? I'm not talking about fighting, because we all should be able to fight. You should have a concealed weapons permit. You should know how to deal with some sort of weaponry. But conflict resolution. Definitely. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot, Jeremy. Conflict resolution. Because you have to know how to deal with conflict. You're going to deal with conflict at work. You're going to deal with conflict in relationships. You're going to deal with conflict in life. How are you going to deal with conflict? I remember I knew a guy. I'm going to tell all. I knew a guy, and he was the most anti-conflict person I have ever met. Every time he was just so anti-conflict. And I would say, hey, dude, let me know if you need anything. Let me know, because I'm a talker. If I get problems, I'm going to let you know. You will be the first to know. The first. That is why it is so important as a man to be able to resolve conflicts in a healthy and in a healthy way, because if you don't know how to, that's going to lead into more of being an incel. A lot of incels get upset when they get rejected, and then the first thing they want to do is they want to cry, they want to weep, they want to moan, boo-hoo, get out of here. I'm just being real. Because it's time that somebody said it. Because if no one else is going to say it, it's going to be me. This is the reason why I preach and I preach and I preach and I preach about social skills. Because I learned it myself. Let me tell you something. I remember when I was working, and my manager at that time, he took me to the side and he said, "You're a great worker. You have great work ethic. You have great intelligence, but your social skills suck. You can't communicate. You can't work well as a team." You know what I did? I went on every social media platform that I could find and learned how to be social. I started going to company happy hour. Whenever there was a happy hour, my face was there. Because my manager was trying to tell me, yeah, you can be as smart as you want. You can be a hard worker. You can do this. You can do that. But if you aren't social, you are garbage. Social people get the job done. Because why do you think the 48 laws of power says do not be an island? Do not isolate yourself. Isolation is dangerous. Why do you think that? Hmm? Why do you think that isolation is very dangerous? Because when you isolate yourself and you put yourself in an alone state, you can be surrounded, you can be destroyed, you can be taken advantage of. Anything can happen to you when you're a lone wolf. Anything. Women hate to be bored. Listen, I'm telling you from experience, women hate to be bored. Women like a man with an exciting life. Women like a man that has a presence of an alpha male. What does that mean? You walk into a room and people know you're there. Women like a man who has power and social skills. Why do you think the rap song was so popular? And I know what it is, and I know it's by Little Kim and the Locks, because that was my jam back when that song came out. And I'm probably showing my age, but there was a rap song, Money, Power, and Respect. First you get the money, then you get the power. Then you get the power, then you get the respect. And how do you get money, power, and respect? Social skills. Why do you think the people that you know can get you into places that you wouldn't be able to get into if you didn't know them? Even in my own life, I have been places that I would not be able to go had I not opened my mouth. If I didn't open my mouth, the suit that I'm wearing right now, I would not have it. Because the reason why I have this suit is because somebody told me, hey, you need to go to this place on this corner of this street and get a suit. You don't need to wear suits from Burlington anymore. You're in the big leagues now. You need to dress like you have some sense. Best suit I ever bought. But I wouldn't be in this suit if it wasn't for me being social, for me being socially adaptable. You should be able to talk to anybody. I don't care if they're Muslim, if they're a Jehovah Witness, if they're white, if they're Asian, if they're Hispanic, if they're Latino, if they're broke, if they're a businessman, if they're a rich person, if they own their own business, or if they work a 9 to 5. You should be able to work a room. How many of you know that just because you go out somewhere doesn't mean you're being social? You're just being present. There's a difference between being social and being present. Do you work the room? Do you allow yourself to be seen? Do you allow yourself to be heard? Do you go out and purposely put yourself in position to be social? Do you introduce yourself to new people? These are things that you have to do as a man, as a person on the dating market, if you're trying to get noticed, if you're trying to get a woman. Do you think a woman is going to go after you if you look like crap? And for those of you who don't know, I'm a big fan of Iron Man and Marvel. I love Marvel. I love anything Marvel. If you're a DC fan, I'm sorry. Marvel is 100 times better. And if you notice on this slide, I put Tony Stark because Tony Stark is the epitome of being social. Not only is he a rich man, he is charismatic. He can work a room. He takes pride in his appearance. He takes pride in where he lives in. Even if he lived in a 1-bedroom apartment, he would take pride in that 1-bedroom apartment. Why do you think Iron Man was the most best dressed Marvel superhero we've ever seen? Every time you saw Iron Man, what was he in? A suit and tie. The only time that he was dressed down was when he was working on his Iron Man suit. Other than that, he was in a suit and tie. That was his uniform. And I believe a lot more of men, we need to put our suits back on. We need to put suits back on. Right, Jeremy. You're right. Because DC can give they can give Marvel a run for their money, and they just make bad movies. Exactly. And it's like continuing on. Here we go. Here's the meat. Take notes. Take out a pen and a piece of paper because you're really going to need to write this down. People with low EQ tend to over-index on arrogance and narcissistic traits. They really do. Think about it. They have a big ego. They think they run everything. They're very controlling. They're very arrogant. They have a chip on their shoulder. They walk around as if the world owes them something. Your social skills are also supposed to evolve. So by the time you're in the real world, yeah, get the likes up. Get the likes up. Everybody hit that like button. Thank you, Jeremy. Your social skills are supposed to evolve. So by the time you're in the real world, you can adjust and contribute to society. A lot of men out here on the dating market have the social skills of a high schooler. They have the social skills of a high school graduate. Because a lot of people don't care about being social. They think, Oh, well, I can do this all myself. I don't need anybody else. I don't need anybody. Yeah, I'm Mr. Antisocial. I can't do anything. I'm a one-man army. Yeah. Please. You can go ahead, be a one-man army. See how long you survive. When people are looking for others to hang out with, are you the first call list or the no call list? This is very important because you ever hear about the people, like, when you're in a group of friends and they're talking, and there's always that one person that they don't want to know that you're going out. Like, yeah, you'll be like, yeah, don't let this person know that we're going out to the bar after work on Wednesday. You always have that one person. And maybe it's you. Maybe you're that one person that doesn't get invited out. Maybe you're that person that when you text people, they take 5 years to get back to you. And then when they get back to you, it's 3 days later. And then they give you the excuse of, well, I wasn't paying attention to my phone. Liar. We live in a day and age where people have iPads, iPhones, MacBooks. Especially if you have Apple, you have no excuse. Because if you get a text message on an Apple device, guess what? It's going to your iPad, to your iPhone, to your iMac, or your MacBook Pro, or all three. You will get that text. So if you're texting people and they're not replying, there's a reason. Maybe they don't like you. And that's okay, because it's better to figure out that they don't like you instead of living a lie and thinking that they do like you. I was there multiple times. I went through it where I would text people and they would never get back with me. I wouldn't get invited out to places. Now, people are asking me, when am I free to go out? And I have to be like, you know what? I'm tired. Like, it's a different thing when you have to turn people down than when you have to beg for people's attention. You're in a much better boat when you have to turn people down to hang out versus beg people to hang out. And see, this is what I'm saying. This is why social skills are very important. You want to be the person at the happy hour that people are like, you know what? Give me your phone number. We can hang out. Give me your phone number. We can chill after work. Give me your phone number. Here, put your number in my phone. That's what you want when you're out. But a lot of you beta male, incel, loser guys don't get that, but you don't realize why. It's because you don't work well with people. People skills are very important. Aren't concerned with being liked when deep down they want acceptance. You all know these people. Why do you think people with no social skills are always angry? They're like, nobody wants to hang out with me. Nobody wants to go with me. Nobody wants to invite me out. Nobody wants to care about me. They don't care because you're irrelevant. You lack social skills. That's why you're always angry. That's why you're always walking around with your nose to the ground with low self-esteem, because you're socially inept. What you need to do if you are a socially inept guy, this is what I want you to do. I want you to get a book. What's the name of that book? Because it's somewhere. I have it down here somewhere. It's a book that I'm gonna read myself. How to Win Friends, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Buy that book and read it cover to cover. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. That book will change your life because he talks about how you need to win friends and influence people, how to learn to be social, how to learn to be great, how to learn to be a people person. All of these things can be learned. I didn't know how to be social. Literally, I didn't really talk to people that much. You can talk to anybody that grew up with me back in my hometown. Go to my hometown. Small little country town. Everybody knows everybody. Now, when I say small, I mean literally small. And I was the least social person, period. I was so antisocial that I didn't even say yes or no to talk to people. I would just be like, like I wouldn't even talk. I would just make sounds. That's how socially inept I was. But now I'm talking in front of people, making YouTube videos, teaching you how to do what I've done. I've put myself in social situations so that I can get better. You have to do that. There is no shortcut to success. You have to do the work. I'm going to play a video because we're going to hear it from a woman's point of view. It's a quick video, and then we'll get right back to the slides.
Wins in dating. Let's get into it. Here are the factual facts. Top percentage of men get the majority of women. Women want commitment, and these men are not committing unless it makes sense for them. They don't need a relationship, and they don't have the same biological clock. This type of guy is dangerous because he's good on his own. He doesn't need a relationship or a woman to validate him. This guy has high standards, i.e. super picky. And because they have a lot of options, they ain't got to chase. They ain't got to convince you. They don't have to apply pressure. And they ain't about to play no games.
And these are the type of men that women go for. The alpha males, the strong males, the men that know what they want out of life, that go after their dreams. They don't need anybody to baby them because they've got it going on. Now we're going to talk about alpha versus beta. Alpha versus beta. So an alpha male and a beta male in social settings. The alpha male has a relaxed hands, like they're very, very relaxed when they're in social settings. Because you shouldn't be nervous like the beta male when you're in a social situation, because you should want to be social. Being social is something that you should want to do. The alpha male stands out. He doesn't blend in with the crowd. He stands out. And a lot of people think you got to wear a dinosaur suit, or you got to wear multicolored stuff to stand out. No, you can be simple. Example. I'll show you a living example of what I mean. Exactly. Exactly, Jeremy. You notice what I am wearing? How many men do you see that have a flower on their suit lapel? That's standing out. Nobody does it. When I go to work and I wear my suit, I get compliments based on this alone. Nobody, it's about standing out. Nobody else where I work at wears a fedora. I'm the only one in the entire office that wears a fedora. I'm standing out. I'm doing something different. When you stand out from the crowd, you're not following the crowd, you're leading the crowd. Be a leader, not a follower. You have to learn how to lead and stop knowing how to follow. Continuing on. And see, this is the main difference between an alpha and a beta. Beta slouch. You ever seen a guy that just slouches? They never sit up straight. Their posture is off. The alpha male sits with confidence. There's the alpha male is self-assured versus the beta male is seeking approval. They're seeking approval from people that don't even care about them. An alpha male has social and rational behavior. They can hold their alcohol. They're not trying to get turned at every social event. They realize that, yeah, it's cool to have your 3 drinks and call it a night. Like when I go out, I just have my 3 drinks and I'm good. Appropriate voice level. They aren't yelling, they aren't screaming, they're not high pitched. They have a nice, soothing voice with bass. You gotta have that bass in your voice. You don't want to sound like a bitch. You gotta have some bass in your voice, some oomph in your voice. When you speak, you need to speak with power and authority as an alpha male, as a real man. Open doors and treat others well. An alpha male does that. I do that. I don't care if you're a woman, a guy, a child, whatever. If I see you coming, if we're walking and there's a door in front of me and I get there first, I'm going to open the door for you because that's just who I am. If I remember I was walking to work because we don't drive here. I was walking to work and there was a woman carrying a bag of whatever. I don't know what it was. It was like fruit, pins, whatever. So her bag fell over and I was within the vicinity and I helped her out. There was a homeless person trying to get across the street and their cart was stuck on the curb. I helped them push the cart across the street onto the other curb. I don't care if you're homeless. If you need help, I'm going to help you. That's part of being a man, is looking out for your fellow man. That's part of being an alpha male, a strong man. You care about those people that are around you. If I have cash on me, if I have money, because I rarely carry cash, but on the off chance that I do, whether it's a $10 bill, a $20 bill, a $5 bill, if you're homeless, I'm going to give it to you. I don't care what you do with it. It's called being selfless. It's called taking care of the people around you, regardless of if you're dating them or not, because that's what real men do. Generosity. A lot of men think the only way I'm going to be generous is if you do something for me first. No, that's not how it works. In order to get, you have to give. If you have a bank account and you don't put anything in it, don't expect to get a withdrawal. It won't happen. And a lot of guys that are incels and losers and lames and MGTOW and beta males, they're walking around in life thinking that life owes them something, and they haven't made a deposit in the book of life, but yet they're wanting life to give them something that they haven't put anything into. So you're asking for a withdrawal when you haven't made a deposit. Make it make sense. And also, last but not least, when you deal with alpha males and beta males, they're charming. They're sensitive. Now, I'm not saying they're emotional, but they're in touch with their feelings, their emotions. They're slow to anger. They talk instead of arguing. They avoid chaos and confusion. So let's look at some characteristics of a beta male. And some men out there, if you're watching, you might have some of these characteristics too. Number one, loyal to a fault. You're too loyal and you're often used by other people. We all know a guy that's like that. They're used by other people. They're abused. They're used again. Then they get mad that they keep getting used, but yet they keep putting themselves in that position to be used by being loyal to a fault. Relying on others. Number two, relying on others to make decisions for them. Where do you want to go out to eat? We all know the story of the guy sitting in the car. Where do you want to go to eat, babe? No, where do you want to go to eat? And then it's a nonstop discussion about where do you want to eat. An alpha male will literally say, this is where we're going to eat at. Get ready, let's go. A beta male will make the woman make a decision for the man. And I'm here to tell you, women hate making decisions for men. Women hate it. You want to lose a woman very quickly, allow her to make all the decisions in the relationship, and she will decide to leave you. And rightfully so. Because women want a leader. Women want a person that has an opinion that's not too agreeable. Oh, I'm scared to, I don't want to disagree with this woman because it'll hurt my chances at getting her. No, it won't. If you're too agreeable, it will hurt your chances at getting her. Because a woman wants you to have your own opinion. A woman wants you to have your own personality. Just because she likes the Backstreet Boys does not mean you have to like the Backstreet Boys. You can say, no, I don't like the Backstreet Boys. And she will be fine with it. Number three, which we already talked about, they have they have trouble saying no. Everything is a yes. We all know. We've all seen a guy, the yes man, the guy that's yeah, 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 always a yes man. They don't know how to say no. As a matter of fact, saying no is not in their vocabulary. And what kind of woman wants to deal with that? Think about that. You're already dealing with a guy that can't make his own decisions. Now he can't say no. You might as well just date a child. That's what children do. If you notice, look at the list. Don't you notice that this is what kids do? Kids rely on others to make decisions for them. Kids can't say no. They're always going to say yes. Do you want some ice cream, Jimmy? Yeah, let's get ice cream. Do you want to do this? Yeah, let's do it. Knowing damn well you don't want to do it. Branded as the nice guy. Number 4, branded as the nice guy. Women always say he is so nice. Fellas, let me give you some basic game because I don't want to go too far and I don't want to get too deep. When a woman says you're nice, that's an insult. You don't want a woman to tell you that you're too nice or that you're the nice guy. Oh, he's so nice. He wouldn't hurt a fly. And once you're branded as the nice guy, you are you are a cooked goose if you're branded as the nice guy. Because women will talk, and word spreads very fast. Number 5, they follow and never lead. Women typically talk them into giving them things. And see, this is what I'm saying. Women don't take advantage of men. Women take advantage of men that are simps, that are betas, that are incels. Because they're too agreeable. They don't say no. They follow and never lead. So if a woman says, baby, I need my rent paid, can you pay my rent? Yeah. How much is it? Can you send me the Cash App, please? Can you send me the Cash App? Like, that's what we're talking about. Men like that. They are number 6, they're too trusting of others and give to others without them earning it. That was my biggest flaw. When I was growing up, I was too trusting. I actually had a woman tell me back in the day, way back in the day, I had a woman tell me that I was too trusting. Because I would meet a woman and then I would just go all in. I would be like, we're dating after 3 weeks. And I was just telling her all of my business and all of my stuff and how much money I was making. I was the one that was too trusting. But you know what? I had to learn by my own mistakes. And after trial and error, I got it. So now I'm really not as trusting anymore. Like, you have to earn my trust. And that's the way trust is. Trust is earned. That's the reason why when you go to a job, they put you on a 90-day probation or 30-day, 60-day, 90-day probation, because you have to build that trust. You have to build that equity. You have to build that livelihood. And then after you build that trust, you'll be able to be trusted. They're too emotional. They cry and emote over everything, which also ties into number 8. They can't handle rejection. They take rejection personally and never recovers. How many of you know a guy that just, he has been living out his life as if the last woman just rejected him yesterday? We all know somebody that's living their life like they got rejected yesterday. Like all they want to do is just live life on repeat. Because you have to understand, rejection happens. I was rejected. You were rejected. We've all been rejected. But what did we do differently than the incel and the beta male and the loser? Is we, in the words of Donnie McClurkin, we fall down, but we get up. We fall down, but we get up. A lot of men, they keep falling down and they just never get up. They never get up. And so what happens is that we live in a society and we live in a world filled with incels and beta male and losers and lame that just don't get the dating market. And it's not that they can't figure it out. They just don't want to do the work. Number 9 and number 10, they're not competitive. They have a fragile ego and don't want to lose. How many of you know a guy like that? They're just not competitive. They're not competitive because they don't want to lose. They don't want to handle rejection. They don't want to compete in a sport. They don't want to play basketball or baseball or football or tennis or volleyball or hockey because they are competitive sports. They don't want to go to the gym because they don't want to lose. So they would rather just sit on the sidelines and let life pass you by instead of winning. We've all lost. I've lost, you've lost, we've all lost. It's part of life. But you need to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep going. We're all going to get older. We're all going to age. But you can be older with more experience, or you can be older living the same life that you've been living your whole entire life. Being an incel is a choice. You don't have to be an incel. You don't have to be a modern woman either. But we're talking about incels. And see, in social settings, they're a wallflower. They tend to keep to themselves. They don't want to be a wall. They don't want to be a social person. They want to be a wallflower. They want to be the guy. And I know I'm telling my age, but you ever been to the club? You remember when we were all younger and we would go to the club and you would see the one guy in the corner like this with his hands balled up and he's just sitting there he's just rocking back and forth, sitting there at the club. No women are talking to him. No women are dealing with him. He's just rocking back and forth to the music in the club. And that guy usually just stays in that position the whole night. That's a lot of how the incels are. They're just shimmying through life just like this, rocking back and forth. They don't want to lose. They don't want to compete. They don't want to make mistakes. They don't want to fall over and fail and get back up. They're just shimmying through life, rocking back and forth like an incel, accepting their lot in life and doing nothing to change it. Over here, we change. We evolve. We grow. We move forward. I showed y'all a picture of myself back in the day, but I'm going to show it again for anybody that just joined us. I want you to see what I used to look like back in the day. For those of you that just joined, welcome. Leave a like, hit that like button. It helps the algorithm and helps more people find the stream, because we need to get this message out to the world. It's time for incels to cut it out. But I'm going to show you, just in case you forgot, this this is how I looked back in the day. You see that? Do you see that? This is me back in the day. Gaming hat, gaming shirt, aviator sunglasses, oversized purple burgundy dress shirt. Then you go to this slide. Here we are again. Oversized shirt again with a lanyard. This is how I looked back in the day. That was me. That was me. Now look at me. I look fly as all get out. I look good. On my mama, on my hood, I look fly, I look good. Touch my swag, wish you could. I look fly, I look good. Look at me then and look at me now. I was an incel then too. I used to be an incel. I used to be a loser. I used to not get women. If I can change and put in the work, you can too. Just stop making excuses and do the work. It's going to be hard, but if it was easy, everybody would do it. Alpha male traits. Trustworthy, and people place their trust in them. If you can't be trustworthy, you might as well just hang it up. Exit the dating market. No one wants to be around people that they can't trust. Number 2, bravery. They look danger in the face and deal with it. Now, bravery doesn't just mean danger. It also means problems, conflict. How are you going to resolve conflict? How are you going to resolve issues? Are you going to argue? Are you going to yell? Or are you going to think about it? Are you going to put yourself to the test? Are you going to be slow to give or take offense, but always ready for reconciliation? An alpha male is slow to give or take offense, but he's always ready for reconciliation because he knows that relationships matter. People need to understand that you cannot live life alone. We were made to be in contact with other people. Number 3, can say no. They never allow society or people to pressure them. Why do you think the yes man never gets the woman? Why do you think that somebody who says yes all the time never gets what they want? Because they don't have a backbone. They don't have a stepping stone. They don't have the ability to say no. But when you have the ability to say no, it's a lot easier. You can say no. A leader. He leads the pack and takes constructive criticism. Very important. If you're a leader, you're going to be criticized. You're going to be criticized. I've been criticized. I get criticized now. Every video I make, whether it's on TikTok or YouTube, somebody always jumps in the chat and says, oh, this is a skit. And every video I say, but wait, before you say it's a skit, but can you take criticism? Can you reconcile your differences? Stop trying to agree with everybody. It's okay to agree to disagree. If you have a person in your life that's working toward bettering themselves, they might be a Muslim and you're a Christian. Who cares? Y'all can coexist. They may be of a different nationality than you. Who cares? You can coexist. Stop trying to agree with every single point that every person makes. You're not going to agree, and that's okay. Number 5, very competitive, loves to compete and win. See, they don't just compete, they win, but they understand that, yeah, you're going to lose some, but you're still going to win. Number 6, they take care of themselves mentally, spiritually, financially, medically. They care about their mental, they care about their spirit, they care about their money, and they care about their well-being as far as their health is concerned. Yeah, as a man, you need to care about your spiritual being, your mental. Go to therapy. Every man needs therapy. Whether you need it or not, it's always good to have somebody neutral to talk to. I'm a big supporter of therapy. If you're in a relationship, go to couples therapy. That will strengthen your relationship. It will allow you to see your partner in a different way. Take care of your mind, body, and spirit. Eat right, exercise, drink plenty of water. I drink water. This is my soda. I drink water. Perrier water, bubbly water, whatever. I like carbonated water because it reminds me of soda. Because I really don't drink soda because it's bad for you. Take care of your health, take care of your will, take care of your mind, your body, and your spirit, and the world will see that. Number 7, they thrive in social settings. They have a way with words. Number 8, can be branded as an a-hole, but they're never the nice guy. See, it's much better to be branded an a-hole than to be glamorized as a nice guy who doesn't have an opinion, doesn't have a goal, doesn't have a standard, never says no, lets people make decisions for him. Number 9, has a hold over their emotions, slow to anger and arguments. What were we talking about earlier? Live and let live, but always be ready to reconcile. Number 10, respected by their peers, co-workers, and business partners. See, I don't care. I don't care if you like me. I care more about if you respect me. Because it's a dangerous situation to be in when you're with somebody who doesn't respect you. It is very dangerous. Life altering. when you are with or around people that don't respect you. They will set you up. They will take from you. They will steal from you. They will cross your boundaries. They don't respect you. They really don't respect you. And when you are in a situation where you are not respected, that is a dangerous place to be. Continuing on, if you want to be successful with women, you have to put in the work. A lot of guys have become incels because they just gave up on dating. They just gave up. And I'm going to bring everything home. If you want to change your life, do it right now. If you're an incel out there and you've watched this video, it's time to learn how to be a man. Learn how to have a backbone. Learn how to be better than you were yesterday. Each and every day we wake up, we are given a fresh 24 hours to do whatever we want to do, to be whatever we want to be. What are you going to do? Are you going to continue living your life as an incel? Or are you going to stand up and say enough is enough? Because you're not getting what you want. You want a woman. You want somebody to be with. You want somebody to talk to. You want a woman. But a lot of women don't want you because you're an incel, because you're a loser, you're a lame, you're a MGTOW, you're a pushover, you're a beta. But you don't have to be that way. It's time to man up and stop being an incel. Man up and start doing the right thing. Start treating people with respect and kindness. Stop looking at other people to make decisions for you and start looking in the mirror. It all starts with you. You can't blame me. You can't blame the people that are watching. You can't blame the world. You can't blame anybody but you. You are the reason why you're an incel. You're the reason why you're a loser. You're the reason why you're a beta and a pushover and no woman wants you. But all it takes is one step in the right direction and you can do it. You can change. Do you think that I want incels around? No. I want you as a man to not be an incel. I want you to get out there and get what you want out of life and be the best man and woman that you can be. That is the goal of this channel and my goal as an individual. And I'm going to say this and then I'm going to close. It's really up to you on what you want to do. If you want to do it, fine. If you don't, fine. But at the end of the day, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting. And don't you know the definition of insanity is what? What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting a different result. That is the definition of insanity. So if you're an incel and you keep doing the same things over and over again, expecting a different result, you are insane. You are insane by definition. So are you going to keep being insane or are you going to change your life? Anyway, that is it for tonight's live. I have been on here for a long time. I appreciate each and every one of you for sharing the video, liking the video. Thank you. Special shout out to the Jeremy Hill Show. Special shout out to you, sir. Love your channel. Love what you do. I appreciate you a lot for stopping by. It lets me know that I'm doing the right thing when other YouTubers stop by your channel. And if you're here for the first time, welcome. Check out my channel. Check out the video that I did earlier today. You don't want to miss it. And I will be going live next week on Wednesday, where we will continue talking about modern women. We're going to bring it back to the women. We're going to talk about one show for the men, one show for the women. Now, the women's show will be a call-in show. So I'm going to have people join in. I wanted to have people join in on this one, but I couldn't figure it out before the show because I'm using StreamYard and I've never used it before, but I'm doing good. People are watching. So anyway, y'all, that's been it for today's video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tickle that notification bell that will let you know every time I upload content or go live. And until the next video, salute.